What's going on, everybody? Brian Mann here, Hands-On Auto Trading. End of day, September 23rd, 2021. Wow, time flies, I tell you what. Hey, just so you remember, premium members, we have a meeting tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have some interesting things to show you about some computer logic gates I've been playing with. Just some weird phenomenon, I guess I call it. But it's just my lack of experience, and I want to share some of the things I learned with that. But anyhow, getting on to today. Guys, what a day. I had to take my father to the doc again this morning. He's doing pretty good, which is awesome. He hung out with me all day today, so that's cool. But anyhow, we started out today with a 2012 Dodge Ram, and it had a intermittent misfire. The shop had told me that misfires all the time, and you know, being mobile, a lot of times I try and stay away from intermittent problems because it's just time consuming. I could spend an hour driving somewhere or 20 minutes driving somewhere to spend an hour driving a vehicle and not be able to duplicate the concern, and then what? You know, it's a tough thing. So the reason they wanted me out on site was for this misfire is they felt it was mechanical, but they needed to prove to the extended warranty company that it was mechanical. So basically I got on site, it wasn't missing. I did a relative compression check, I did a pressure pulse sensor and an intake, didn't see anything, it was running smooth. I monkeyed around looking at all kinds of stuff, and I even went in cylinder and didn't catch anything the first time I went in cylinder. So I put the plug back in, coil back on, started up, running for a little while, and then all of a sudden it started missing. And I could see something definitely going on with the intake pulse. Check it out, you can see this. And then also I went in cylinder and we had very low compression. We went from having around 80 something pounds running to down to 26 pounds with this running. Next job was a 2009 Buick Enclave that was setting a P0627. This is a fuel pump enabled relay circuit code. It's actually a fuel pump, or should I say there's actually a circuit that goes directly between the powertrain control module and the fuel pump control module, and when the powertrain control module wants the fuel pump to run, you'll see 12 volts on this wire. But I checked this and everything was good. And I checked my powers and grounds to the fuel pump control module as well. And guess what type of module this fuel pump control module was? Yes, a Dorman. Well, that doesn't mean it's bad, but there's a good chance of that. As I was testing this vehicle, I went to clear the engine control module codes, and I lost communication with the engine control module. I tried other scanners and all kinds of stuff, Tech2Win, and I never got communication with the engine control module back. However, no other codes were saying a lack of communication with engine control module, just the scan tool wouldn't communicate with it. So I think it might be some sort of logic lock or something. I really don't know, but they weren't complaining about that before. I did notice I had trouble communicating with it originally too. When I first got on site, I went to pull codes. I'm like, oh, no communication, what's going on here? Then it communicated. So I think something else might be going on there. That's just a fun sometimes when you have weird problems. But I think that fuel pump control module is faulty, causing that code to set. Next, we're on to the easy job of the day. We need some easy ones, right? This was a 2010 GMC Yukon. We just did a transmission control module and PCM update. The transmission was replaced, so it was a used module, programmed through SPS, no problem. That's not a Global A vehicle, just so you know. That body style didn't go Global A, I don't think, until 2013 or 14 or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. Now, the final job of the day. So the next stop is supposed to be a 2007 Hyundai Tucson no start. Oh boy, just love it when you kind of get into a mess like this. I don't know what we're up against here. They took the battery inside to charge it, but yeah, this is looking like a basket case. I may bail on this, we'll see. This is a little worse off than I thought. So somebody apparently replaced a camera crank sensor. I don't know which one it is. Probably a crank sensor. There's a cam sensor on this thing. Don't even know, but we'll have to investigate. I was messing around. I pulled on this wire. Hopefully you guys can see it good enough. I pulled on that little wire, popped right out of there. Now that is the control wire. I was showing 1.2 volts on the one side of it, but the relay wasn't clicking. Very odd situation. Very good either, but that's just a mess down there. This is a challenging job. Alright, so we do have our battery positive voltage up to 12.6 volts there. You can see that. I just have a temporary run here. Unfortunately, my equipment's all out of sorts because of these salt mine jobs I've been doing. But I don't have my crimpers with me. I thought I had them, and I don't. That's very annoying. But we do have this relay operating properly now. So look at our engine coolant temperature sensor is negative 54 degrees. That's definitely a problem. I think we ought to be checking that out. That's kind of the road I've been taking here. Alright, so I was looking for a problem with that crank sensor. I did disconnect the coolant temperature sensor. We had 5 volt reference there, and 12 volt and signal ground was good. So I went down to the crankshaft sensor, which was just replaced, and when I pulled this out, all of a sudden our coolant temperature, or when I unplugged this, our coolant temperature sensor and all the readings went back to good, except for our intake air temperature. That's still jacked up. But it's running on the original crank sensor. So a crank sensor was causing all these problems along with these other wiring issues. So I don't think this thing ever needed a crankshaft sensor. Probably what happened is that one wire had went bad, people replaced parts, tore stuff apart on this, and got nowhere, and then they got me involved. So I'm glad I got it running. Boy, that was a challenge. It was I was there a little over 2 hours, to be honest with you. That's a long time for me on site. I try to do my jobs quicker than that, but it is what it is. So the good news is, like I said, it's running. Make sure you keep an eye out. In October, we're going to start giving away those U-scopes. You guys let me know if you have any questions. Premium members, I'll see you in a little bit. Bye-bye.